So yeah, you look at the figure that you come back with at the end of it, and you see what kind of targets you've achieved.
Okay, so that's your second one. It's part of your business plan.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
and your third one?
That was the third one.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so just a summary.
So there's the annual business plan.
Yeah.
Then there's our monthly business plan.
Oh, of course, yeah.
There's the one-page plan.
Indeed,
which can be
yeah. There's
used
three of
over-
them. Yeah, that's fine. I'm glad you just
over-
clarified that because I wasn't counting properly. Anyway, so there's three there. So that and how long did it actually take you from the time you decided, okay, look, I want to set up in business. I've got an idea, and I know that I can make the idea work. From start to finish of the business plan, how long did it take you, in terms of time wise? Did you spend 5 minutes on the back of a fact packet, or and I'm not saying that is because the business plan is one of the most critical areas that you need to concentrate on, because if you get that right, then really it's a way of monitoring as to how you progress it.
It is.
And that's why I'm saying, how long did you sort of really
really to get the business plan right, it's taken me over a year.
Wow.
The initial business plan was created in 2 weeks, and I would say that I spent the majority of those 14 days working on the actual business plan itself.
Okay.
Within a business plan, there is a budget and cash flow forecast which you have to look at, and you really have to try and achieve realistic figures on those budgets, because at the end of the day you are going to be spending that money, and you need to look at the realistic targets that you hopefully are going to be achieving, which is really important when budgeting. Which takes a lot of time on the phone, on the internet, getting prices in from people, and then really estimating the amount of sales that you're going to be making. It is quite difficult. With regards to the actual written business plan itself, the reason that took me 2 weeks is because you change your mind so on ways that you're going to go about things, really.
And I suppose the business plan really focuses your mind as to where you want to head and where you want to be.
It does.
And if you didn't have that, then you'll be going all over the place.
Incidentally, we're often bringing the business plan back up again and looking at it, even on a weekly basis. Sometimes we're changing it and then saving an extra copy on top of the original.
So it's fluid, isn't it? It's not cut in stone.
It isn't cut in stone.
And I think that's the important aspect. All the years that I've been business ago, the business plan has to be fluid because things change. I mean, who knew 3 years ago that the banking crisis would bring us in the position where we are? Right. So if you take your plan 3 years ago to where it was then and to where you are, it will be completely changed. But you said, this is cast in stone. Yeah. It's not going to work.
It's so true, and I think a lot of people do think that once they've set a business plan in place, especially when they don't write their own business plan, especially when they introduce a firm to write a business plan for them, then that's the way that I've got to do it, so that's the way that I'm going to carry on doing it, and it doesn't work.
Great. No, that's important. Thanks for spending a few minutes on that one. What was the biggest mistake you ever made? I mean, mistakes you've made in running a business. Right. I mean, I've got loads, but I want to hear yours.
Mistakes I've made were mainly when I first introduced staff to the company. Micromanagement was a big one, whereas I had to be involved in it. Absolutely every single piece of correspondence that left the office, every single transaction, I had to know about everything. And at the end of the day, you can't do that. You have to allow a certain amount of responsibility to your staff. And if you try and make yourself responsible for everything, then the business can't grow at all. So control growth is completely out of the window because there is no growth, and one person can only do so much. So you have to learn that once you do start introducing staff to the company, that you do have to be able to hand over some of the responsibility, obviously in a controlled manner, because you don't want to put too much on them for a start. But I think it's a big problem with when you started the company and it is your baby, of giving that responsibility. It is hard.
It is very hard
to pass that over.
Indeed, indeed.
So the mistake that I really made was for the first 3 months of having an administrative coordinator, was the fact that I did her job after she had done it, and she was very capable of doing it, but I did it again just because I needed to learn that I didn't have to.
But the trouble is, okay, if you don't, how do you learn?
Exactly.
It's a learning experience for
Exactly.
you, but then once you recognise it, you've got to move on. Okay, right?
That's right. That's right.
Next one, what's been your biggest success? What would you say? What would you tangibly say this has been successful for me?
Our biggest success really is the variety of service that we offer. The majority of letting agents charge 10% for management of a property. We don't charge the landlord anything.
Right.
We actually charge the tenant a management fee, and the landlord, for example, if they came to me and they said, I want £650 a month for my property, if that's a realistic figure, we'll make sure that they get £650 a month, and then we aim to achieve a profit on top of that from the tenant. So the landlord gets exactly what they're wanting. They're getting a fully managed property, and we are earning a profit from the tenant. So that really the introduction of that service, as opposed to the normal 10%, was really the biggest success of the company.
And again, you've gone from 0 to 200.
Yes.
So clearly that success has paid up for you. Okay,
That's
right?
right.
And I suppose in a way, okay, final question. Okay, where do you see yourself in say 12 months' time?
Right, well, it's an interesting question actually. We're in October at the moment, just about to come into November. By January, we hope to have launched We'll Sell Your House, which is an estate agency. So we hope to have launched that by then, and we hope to have at least 2 or 3 more offices than we currently have at the moment in different parts of the area. Now, I'm not looking to go too far too quickly, because I'm a great believer in the fact that if I have an office the other side of the country, then travelling time, etc., and the level of control that I do like to keep will be lost. So yeah, I'm looking at Boston, Stamford, etc., for offices.
So, I suppose if I was summarising this, Harry, okay, right? You started with a desk, a computer, a telephone, and a newspaper, and over a period of 2 years now,
Yes.
you have built it over to a successful network.
That's right.
Starting from 0 to 200 properties. You've also looked at the future, which is where do I want to be in 12 months' time, which is starting your own estate agent.
Yes.
And opening more offices.
That's right.
Now, to me, okay, right, if I look at it, isn't that successful? Why are we looking at doom and gloom? And I suppose the more of these type of success stories that we illustrate and show, it will give people confidence outside to really say, okay, well, let's have a go in a controlled manner, and we too can be successful. And the kind of points that I've learned from you, okay, right, you need a good mentor. Would you say that?
Yes, you do.
Somebody to guide you.
Yeah.
You also need a business plan which is achievable.
That's right.
And I suppose the other thing, okay, which I didn't touch on, okay, which would be important, okay, is to really understand your strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
And I suppose in your case, your strength was identifying the market, which you had some experience with.
Yes.
In the letting environment.
Yes.
You've also clearly made some mistakes, which all of us are going to make. But then you clearly have had a lot of success on that one. So Harry, what I do wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks for coming
Thank
down
you. Thank you very
and
much.
sharing it with our viewers and giving them ideas and inspiration. And maybe in 12 months' time we can talk again, or prior
Let's
to
hope
that
so.
we can talk again and talk about more and more success. So till next time, let's not worry about doom and gloom, and working together, let's create successful businesses.